everyone, it's Chantel. Today we're going to talk about how to get up on a wake surfboard. Wake surfing is definitely one of the most popular things right now to do on a boat. I'd say 90% of the people that come in looking at boats are wanting to wake surf behind it. It can be really tricky if you've never tried it before, seen anybody do it before. Maybe you've watched a video, but it's usually of people wake surfing, not really of the get up process. So I really want to talk about three main things. Choosing a board, which is super important, that can make or break you for sure, and then how to get the board in the right position to make it as easy as possible to get up on it, and then some driver tips for the driver can do some things that will make it a lot easier for the rider to be able to get up and not just be, fail right away. Choosing a board is a really important part of this process. You want to make sure that you get a board that's going to fit for your wake, for what size of riders that you have, and what ability level they are. For very, very beginners, I definitely like a board that's built like this one. It's compression molded, so it's pretty heavy, but it's bulletproof. It's really, really durable, and because it's heavier, once you're getting up on it, it's actually going to be easier to get up on it, and it's going to be more stable once you're up. This is the kind of board that you'll keep on your boat forever, even as you grow and as you get to the point where maybe you want something that's a little more aggressive or a little different style. You will still keep this board, and then anytime you have a beginner, you're going to throw it out there and they're going to be more successful. So having something like this on your boat is a really great idea, and it's going to last you forever. You also want to think about size of riders. So if you want something that's going to be big enough and buoyant enough and have enough push for somebody who's a bigger size if you have all adults. But that may mean you need to buy two boards, because if you have kids on the boat or smaller people, you may want to get something that has less surface area and is going to be smaller and easier for a kid to maneuver. Really the best thing to do is go into your local shop, knowing the ability of your riders, what size and what kind of boat you have, how big your wake is, and then somebody who's ridden most of these boards or all of these boards is going to help you narrow down and be able to find the right board for you that's going to last you a long time and going to be a good fit for your crew and for your boat. The way you want to start is with the board flat on the water and holding onto the surf rope. You're going to lean back and put your heels up on the board. It's really common for beginners to want to put their heels right down the center line of the board, which is going to make it way harder to get the board popped up into the right position, but it's also going to make it pretty impossible once you get up to actually surf without having to move your feet around and try to do that without falling. You want to make sure that your heels are moved back into a position so once the board pops up flat on your feet, it's actually your arch that is down the center line of the board. Once your heels are in the right position, you want to get the board popped up and flat against your feet. And there are a few different ways to do this. The most common, I'd say, is to hold onto the rope or the handle with both hands, and as the boat is starting to move and starting to idle, push down hard with your heels, and so the board pops up and it's flat against your feet. The pressure of the water as the boat is idling, that's going to keep the board flat on your feet, so you don't have to worry about it. Once it's popped up and you've got that pressure there, it's going to stay there until you're ready to say hit it and pop up. Sometimes it can be tricky, especially if you're smaller or as a beginner or the board's too big or anything like that. It can be hard to just push down on your heels and get the board popped up into the right position. So one thing that works is to either reach through your legs or down back behind one of your knees with your back hand and push on the bottom of the board and get it to pop up. Just give your heels a little bit of extra oomph by adding just your hand pushing on the bottom of the board. Then once it's popped up into that position, the water pressure is going to keep it flat against your feet. You'll be able to grab the handle and be ready to get up. Another way to do it would be to get the board into the right position before your feet are even on it. So pull up, grab it with your back hand, pull up on the front of the board, get it flat like you want it once your feet are on it. Put your front foot on the board, and then once the boat starts to idle and you're starting to feel some of that water pressure, then you can get your back foot lifted up onto the board, grab the rope with both hands, let go of the board, and then you're ready to pop up. Once your feet are in the right position and you've got the board popped up and it's flat against your feet and both hands are on the rope, then you're ready to get up. You can go ahead and say hit it to the driver. And this is where you just want to let the boat do the work. You don't want to stand up too quickly and try to, get excited and pull yourself out of the water. You want to keep your knees bent and your arms straight and just let the boat naturally pull you up. It's just going to pop you right up out of the water as long as you're in that nice athletic stance with straight arms. As the driver of the boat for a brand new wake surfer, you have just as big a role as the surfer does for them being successful and for them being able to get up. One thing that is really important is to make sure that the surfer stays, even before they're up, they're on the side of the boat that they're going to be surfing on once they get up. What can happen if they get up on the wrong side of the boat is they'll get stuck in the whitewash and the board will just sink and they're lost before they even make it up. Or they'll somehow get up, but they'll have to go down this massive wake where they'll get shot out super fast to the side, faster than they're going to be able to handle, or they'll sink the nose immediately and then just fall right away. There are some boats out there that have side pole surf points. If you have these, definitely use them. They're going to help out significantly keeping the rider on the right side of the boat. So really important to take the time in the beginning before you get them up to get them on the right side of the boat. So those are my tips for getting up on a wake surfboard. If you have questions or comments or other tips that you've used, leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. If you have questions about boards, I'd love to answer them. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more stuff like this. We'll see you on the water.